Whitey, tell me about your career in acting. How, from the time you decided to do it seriously, how long has it been?
2.5 years.
That's all?
Yeah.
Look where you're at.
Yeah.
You got to take me to the beginning. What were you doing?
I've been very blessed. Very blessed.
What were you doing, and how did you start?
I had a day job. You know, I was getting up and going to work. I moved to LA. When I first got to LA, I was modeling a little bit, and then got a day job and worked, and I just looked up one day and I realized I came to LA to be an actor. I came to LA with this dream and with this passion.
At that time?
I was working in retail. I was a West Coast regional manager for a company.
Wow.
So I was traveling nonstop. I had 10 stores that I was responsible for. I was in a plane every 2-3 days, rarely ever home. And I looked up and realized that although that was a great job, it's not what I came here to do, and I wasn't passionate about it. So I said, I'm going to give myself 2 years to do this. I'm going to give myself 2 years to make forward progress.
How did you know you had the talent? Did you act in high school?
I didn't. I literally took my first acting class about 4 months after I quit my job.
And you quit your job too? You really wanted to be focused?
Yeah, I quit my job. I didn't tell my parents. You know, I had some money saved up. I got some bills situated and got everything taken care of so I could do it. And, you know, I put myself in a position where I could take 2 years to really just go at it every single day and focus and make it happen.
So you gave yourself a deadline?
I gave myself a deadline. And
so did you get a talent agent?
4 months after my deadline, I booked the game. I started, so I did that. I quit my job, started acting class about 2 months later. Went to class every day I could go, I was there. Worked nonstop. Met an agent. I would do workshops. I would do whatever it took, showcases. Met my manager. Got with my manager, had a really good pilot season. I tested for a bunch of pilots. I booked a few jobs. And then they hooked me up with my agent, and then went through another pilot season, which was a year ago now, and had a really great pilot season as well. Tested for a bunch of jobs, booked a few more jobs along the way, and then the game came along. And 8 auditions later.
Oh, you had 8 auditions?
8 auditions later, I got the job.
Did they say every time you came back, how you did or why they called you back?
You know, it was interesting because you know, it was there was someone different in the room every single time. So I started out with but there were also, you know, recurring faces in that room as well. So I started out with casting, and then had a work session, and then came to producers, and then the producers liked me, so they brought in another producer, and then they brought in another producer, and then I met Mara, and then I met Salim, and then I met Mara, Salim, and all the producers.
Were they at the end of the 8?
They were about halfway through. They were about 5, 6, 7, 8, somewhere in there. And they were great. So, you know, along the way, each group had their own different notes that they were given, you know. And this is a big deal, you know. It's obviously BET's marquee show, and they really wanted to take time with the process and really.
So each time you went in, did you say to yourself, well, maybe I should change something? Did you change at all?
Yeah, I don't know that I changed much, but I know that every time I went in, I had to make this brand new for me because I was reading the same sides every single time.
What?
So I had to make it brand new. So by the first time, you know the words in and out. By the second time, you wake up saying them. By the 8th time,
you're dreaming them.
It's ridiculous, you know. So I had to make this brand new for myself every single time.
Wow.
And making it brand new for myself, in turn, made it brand new for them. Especially for people who had seen it 5, 6, 7 times. You know, there were people, you know, casting saw it 8 times, and I was still getting laughs in the 8th time. You know, so I hope I was getting laughs. But you know, making it new for yourself is tough, especially in comedy because there's so many beats that you have to have, and they have to be real. You know, you can't manufacture them. Yeah. So
have you had time to do anything else?
We wrapped about 3 weeks ago. I've gone and guest starred on another show, and then I've been working on a few other things. I went out to CIAA and did some appearance stuff for the show and for the network, and Yeah, just working on a couple other things. I always got an iron. Always got an iron in the fire.
I'm asking the same questions. I've heard 10 years, 14, 2.5 years.
2.5 years. I've been very, very blessed.
So when did you at what point did you tell your parents what you done?
I was about. I actually didn't tell them. My cousin told me because he saw me on a commercial. And when he saw the commercial, he called my dad and said, "Hey, it's Jay in the commercial." My dad's like, "Nah," and he calls me. He's like, "I just saw you in a commercial." And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "What's going on?" And it was about a year and a half later, year and a half later, and I was like, "This is what happened." They're super happy. This is so much more about my mom than it's about me sometimes, but in a good way, you know. But they're very